Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues once more. And we are back with my favorite league in Nemesis, playoffs-wise. We have the Provisional League, and every single provisional match so far has been an absolute banger. Will this follow the trend? We're about to find out. I'm joined here by the commissioner, the man, the myth, the legend, the management member, Rockerman. How you doing?
Gallium, I am doing fantastic here. I mean, we've had some crazy matchups. We've had a game 7 potential upset to start off the night, and then the rest of the matches they have given us some even more upsets. And we might be in store for another upset as we have yet another 3-6 matchup here in the playoffs. And Gallium, we have already seen 4 6 seeds take down these 3 seeds, and right here tonight, Wolfpack coming in as the 6 seed out of that playing tournament. They're looking to make it number 5 here, and it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a very great one. There's a quick start here. Both teams ready, and that's what I love about the Provisional League. So on time. I mean, they just really want to play, and I don't really blame them. It's playoff time for everybody here, and the winner of this, I can't really say who they play because of the seeding, but Aiko trying to get into the semifinal round.
Yeah, this is a huge start here for the Sirens. You see Fly Penguin over to Aiko to shoot it on net, and actually the Sirens coming into this one, Gallium, they have 3 all-stars on their team. Aiko, Fly Penguin, and actually I'm blanking on third, and Nolly. And Nolly actually not in this one. They're going with LaBerry in this one, but LaBerry, another great player as well. So they did have 3 all-stars, only 2 of them here tonight, and you already see Aiko putting in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, LaBerry already looks very mechanical, very worried about his skill in terms of Wolfpack. They have a little bit of an awkward defense there. I'm looking out for Valace on the Wolfpack. He's been so great for them, and Exiled has been such a great captain. I mean, really the leader of this team. So we'll see if Wolfpack can try to take down the Sirens team. But so far they have a leg up, a 1-goal lead, obviously, as Exile trying to take a shot. Cannot quite find the back of the net. Hibiscus back to defend. Aiko with a nice pop. Nobody's going to find this one, though. And I believe if the Sirens win this game, they face the Gambits in the semifinals. But if the Wolfpack win, I believe they face Dissonance. So very different tales on who they face coming out of this round, but both very good teams in the semifinals. So, I mean, in my unbiased opinion, of course, Rockerman.
Of course, I mean, the one of the 2 seeds always got a leg up here in this 6-team format. Like you mentioned, Dissonance and Gambits, they are just waiting to see who they're going to face. And yeah, both these teams, I'm sure they're not even worried about that at the moment. They're locked in on this matchup and, the most important matchup of the season for them. And, we're going to have to see the Sirens. They have started out strong already. Gallium here getting that first goal. I was a little bit concerned to see how they would play considering the Wolfpack. They came into this play-in tournament as the A seed. They had the worst record in all of Provisional this season, but they made the miracle run through those play-ins, and they are here tonight. So I was really expecting them to come out hot here as the Sirens. I almost had a second one on the board.
Yeah, and I have a question for you, Rockerman. So let's say hypothetically they make it into the grand finals and they go up against, let's just say, Dissonance, and they beat the number 1 seed. Would this count as an 8 seed beating the number 1 seed?
Technically, in one way, I guess you could say yes, but when it comes down to the playoff bracket, they would be reseeded as the 6th seed. So I guess at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the play-in tournament, they're the 8th seed. So it depends on how you want to look at it. Here comes Fly Penguin, able to put it on the net.
The GM of the entire org putting it in the back of the net off of a pass from LaBerry. He's been looking speedy all night, and Fly Penguin, get up there! He got up there and made it happen. What a great shot from him. And 2-0 lead for Sirens with their new logo looking fresh. They're looking pretty good right now. Rockerman, I'm wondering, what do you think Wolfpack can do to get back into this one?
Well, first off, for the Wolfpack, they're going to try to generate some offensive opportunities. No shots on net quite yet. Look for some teammates and look for this one right here. A shot up opportunity, but Exiled, he can't quite put it in. And yeah, they're going to have to make something happen here. And they are missing. They're missing a big roster member here on their team in Salty, who has been one of the best assist man in all Provisional, 4th in assists per game this season. They're missing him, so to find those passing plays, they're gonna have someone else step up. And Hibiscus Red, the lowest MMR on the roster, got some big shoes to fill here to find these passing plays and try to open up a goal.
Yeah, he definitely has big shoes to fill, and we'll see if he ends up filling it. Not right now, as they're still down 2-0 in this game number 1, but there's always another game after this game, so we'll see if they can't figure it out then, or they can come back in this one as LeBerry. He's going to have a nice little touch off the sidewall. Aiko not going to be able to read it, but you want to know who is exiled. What a banger.
And that is just a massive shot there. Look at this power and look at this placement. It pops up and look at this, saving the flip to the very end and right perfectly over the defender. Penguin can't quite get back. And finally, Wolfpack, their first shot and their first goal of the game.
Yeah, this is some great shooting. And I saw somebody in chat, I mentioned in the game yesterday that we had Uprising taking on the Mangoes. I was really impressed with their shooting, and somebody in chat, they said, this is what Provisional has done all season long, and I'm like, there's no way, right? The lowest league in the Nemesis Gaming League, they can't be shooting like this, but Fly Penguin just proving everyone wrong, putting in the back of the net, and that's just a Provisional buff. Their shooting has been so exceptional all season long.
Yeah, and that's just a provisional moment there. You see two defenders trying to go for it, and Fly Penguin, yeah, he is a big shooter there, able to put it in the back, and that the GM trying to will his team here to the semifinals, something they couldn't do last season when they were the Fallen Angels. But so far in this game number 1, 3-1 lead, looking solid and looking to add to it here.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to add to it, and trying to take down the defending champions is not going to be easy, but Aiko, it's looking really easy for her right now.
Yeah, it really is, and that is a nice shot there as LeBerry just sets it up, and Aiko, they're just going to throw it in the back of the net, taking that one all the way through, and a nice little play there on that one.
A beautiful shot and a beautiful goal by Aiko, who has been so exceptional for this Sirens team. Very good player, and, even though we've disagreed on the power rankings from time to time, definitely up there for Provisional MVP. And I was actually looking at the stat sheet. She's not on a whole lot of the stats, but I feel like Aiko is just such a game changer, especially because of their mechanics. It has been really, really the Aiko show whenever the Sirens are up to play. So we'll see if the Aiko show can extend for at least a couple more games, as Val going to take a nice touch past their own zone. With 5 seconds left, the Sirens have all but secured this game number 1, and they have a leg up on the defending champions. Can they keep this momentum? Well, we're going to have to find out in game number 2, as that's where we're headed.
Yeah, and I mean, it was just a dominating performance here from the Sirens in this one. They did everything they needed to do in this game, and Gallium, again, it goes back to what we saw in a couple of series so far in the playoffs. If you're getting one shot on net here, you're not going to win many games. And that's, the only thing the Wolfpack got. They only got one shot on net there. And, you're not going to win many games like that. And on the Sirens end, they just kept the pressure going and really just suffocated Wolfpack there. And that's just, exactly what you want to do. You're the favorites here. You got to come out and assert yourself in the series. And that's exactly what the Sirens did.
Yeah, it's exactly what the Sirens did. And an excellent offensive performance per usual from them, but something else I'm really looking out for is a better performance from the Wolfpack on the offensive side. As you mentioned, just one shot on target, but that one shot went in. So if they increase the shooting, that'll benefit them. But how do you generate more shots? Well, I think it's really in the midfield game. You got to push past the Sirens midfield game because they're fast players. You have to dig in and really use your speed to your advantage. 50 the ball, get in the Sirens' way because they're going to steamroll you if you don't.
Yeah, they really are, and you just saw a huge performance. And actually, I was just figuring out here that Nali is actually available, so this is the roster that they wanted to go with. I think it's the best one, at least maybe for this matchup here. And they've done a good job so far. And, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Sirens in this one. And as we head into this game number 2, the Wolfpack, they got to battle back. They've got to break through the Sirens defense here and find some more shots on net. Just get some more balls like this up in the midfield and be ready to challenge as Wolfpack got to be ready to dive in quickly there.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity, but unfortunately didn't go back into the net as Aiko taking a little bit of an interesting touch there. Can't quite find it. Aiko taking a shot. It's going to actually be a pop-up. Can't really find anything there. Still up. Fly Penguin with a nice touch. It's going to be down for LeBerry. He can't get it. Aiko now in their own zone. Actually going to have a shot against them. Nice defense from the Sirens so far, and we're seeing a different Wolfpack team so far. It seems like they're getting a substantial amount of pressure, more pressure than they had last match already, and I'm wondering if this will work for them.
You'd like to hope so here, as now they're on their counterattack. Exile is going to take a shot towards net there, but LeBerry going to be back just in time. And yeah, it looks like Exile is going to be leading the way in the shot department, but you know, Hibiscus and Ace, we want to see a little bit more from them as this one goes on. As you know, Ace has been a solid player for this team all season long. Getting those demos with a huge block comes away, but Hibiscus, she's the sub here. So, you know, again, some shoes to fill. You know, I don't know how much expectations we can have for her, but this one could be an opportunity for her there, but it's going to go just a little bit wide. And yeah, it's going to be a huge demo and the net is open, but they can't quite put it on. The shot going to go a little bit wide, and somehow Gallium, we're still at 0-0. And that one, it did look deadly.
Yeah, it looked super deadly for Sirens, but hey, they recover, and they recovered very well here. Exile going to make a nice flick over to Hibiscus. She can't make the touch. Aiko sending it down the pitch. LeBerry with a nice bang, and wow, what a powerful save from Valace. Really looking to him to step up as Aiko going to make a nice touch over to a Wolfpack attacker, but now it's a counterattack the other way. Valace can't find that one. Aiko trying to find it themselves. Aiko taking it up the side while trying to get one more touch. Not going to be able to. The ball is still up. Fly Penguin getting a read himself. Off the ceiling, exiled. Down over to Aiko, who's going to get a nice touch. Exiled going to take a touch of their own. And it's just been Sirens absolutely pelting the Wolfpack net. They have not found anything working for them so far. And Exiled missing the touch, and Aiko dribbling it down the field. A one-on-one opportunity, a nice 50, but it's going to be a dangerous 50. LeBerry up with it, takes a pop. It's going to be sent backwards, and Fly Penguin going to have to recover there. And with a little over 2 minutes remaining, it's not really looking really good for either team on the offensive side so far.
Yeah, just both teams only 2 shots apiece, and really there hasn't been too many threatening ones. I mean, maybe one there earlier, but yeah, Gallium, these teams got to find a way to break through in the offense, and we've seen it sometimes in the Provisional League. It's hard to generate that offense, so you got to take advantage of every opportunity that you can get to find your teammates and find an opportunity like this one right here. But good defense again, and the Wolfpack, you know, they haven't really got the offense going, but for the most part, they've been solid on the defensive end, and again, that continues.
Yeah, it continues like always, as a very close one from Sirens attacker, but wait, Exiled over to the other end, gonna get a nice goal for Wolfpack.
Yeah, this one just beating out the last defender and catching Fly Penguin a little bit too far up with not enough boost to get back. And Exiled, they look like the star player right now that this team needs for Wolfpack. They put in a goal here, and that's the first lead here for the Wolfpack. We'll see if they can hang on in the final minute and a half or so.
Yeah, we will see, as they have some time. But Sirens, they're not looking too good on the offensive zone. They've had a decent amount of pressure, but just not good enough chances. I feel like their shooting has been off, and hopefully they recover off of that if they want to have an opportunity to beat this Wolfpack team. Valace sends it off the ceiling. Hibiscus gets a nice touch. LeBerry misses his touch as well. Aiko down the pitch. Exiled gonna get one. Off the backboard it goes. Exiled gonna find another one, and Wolfpack playing much better than they did in Game 1. I would like to attribute that to Stream Nerves, as playoff time plus Stream Nerves equals a lot of stress on some teams, but it could also be an adjustment period for Sirens. We'll see if they adjust here, or will it have to be game number 3 as Valace pops it up high. Will there be another Wolfpack attacker? No, they won't. LeBerry down the pitch, gets one, gets a second. A nice little roll-off pass. Fly Penguin, a beautiful pass. Can't quite find Aiko there. Val, the other side, gets one pop. Can't quite find a second as LeBerry gets it away from him. 15 seconds left. LeBerry fakes out a touch. It's back out to the midfield. Fly Penguin misses his shot. LeBerry, though, he can turn. He gets one. Can he get a second? He does! The Sirens tie things up.
And the Siren, just a huge play here. You see this ball pop up in the midfield, and Hibiscus and Ace both go in the same way. Unfortunately, just caught a little bit out, and LeBerry, clutch performance right there. Only 9 seconds left to tie it up.
9 seconds left. Can either of these teams find a goal to avoid overtime? Here is a nice kickoff, but not nice enough. Val, though, down the pitch. He gets one pop, tries to get a second. He does, almost gets a third as a shot. Exiled, the buzzer beater.
Oh my goodness. This is Rocket League moment here for the Wolfpack as this one off the backboard and exiled. The clutch man himself, upper 90, game winner.
Golazo. Golazo, Wolfpack gonna tie this series 1-1. And what a way to do it on a buzzer beater. That has to be absolutely crushing for Sirens. But hey, they still hung in this game, regardless of how spotty their offense looked. It kind of picked up towards the end. And I feel like Sirens have to be much more consistent if they want to take on this Wolfpack team who have been so consistent throughout the play-ins. And now the playoffs, they have looked spectacular. So we'll see if Sirens can't adjust here. I want to hear your take on kind of what Sirens have to do to kind of avoid this Wolfpack upset.
I mean, I think their formula is simple here, Gallium. For what I've seen in these two games, you got to shut down Exiled. You shut down Exiled and you're going to win this game. I don't think Ace and Hibiscus have, the star power, at least at the moment. Maybe they do in their tanks. I've, only seen these two games, so that's all I can comment on. But at the moment, it seemed like Exile has that star potential. If you can shut down Exiled, I think they're going to have a really good shot. Maybe find some demos on them and try to open some things up. That would be my formula. But, honestly, I'm loving the Wolfpack's play style. I think they got very defined first, second, and third man. And, it's working to perfection. We saw it. They maybe just needed that game to fit in, with that new roster, trying to get Hibiscus, into this rotation with them. And, it worked well in that game too. And game number 3, again, it's a long series. It's all about adjustments and who can adjust best here in this one to give themselves a 2-1 lead.
We will see as it is game 3 time. We're taking a trip down to the park. It's not any kind of park. It's Beckwith Park. I mean, there's not going to be any dog walking here. It's just pure Rocket League as Exiled. Going to take a nice pop down the pitch. LeBerry, a beautiful midfield play, and now ball is traveling at Mach speed down over to the Sirens end. Fly Penguin going to fake it out. Ball is still up in the air. LeBerry gets a touch down the pitch. Oh, that almost traveled in the back of the net. LeBerry so fast. And wait a second. This could be a counterattack opportunity. LeBerry having a little bit of trouble corralling this ball. He ends up doing so, though, and going to have to aerial it out. 1 touch, 2 touch, red touch, blue touch. Fly Penguin going to get a nice touch as well. Misses the opportunity to bang it down. Now Aiko gets a little bit of a touch, but it's not going to be much. Wait a second, Balace on the other end. The defense caught out here, and Wolfpack have a 1-0 lead.
And where are the Sirens here? I mean, LeBerry's 15 this ball, and where are the two teammates? Where are the Sirens at? You got to wonder where the rotation is, and Ace just able to catch him completely off guard right there, and that is a massive goal here for the Wolfpack.
It is a massive goal, and something to really look out for if you are the Sirens, since they can't quite find anything there. So close, but yet so far. As the ball traveling off the ceiling, Aiko with a touch, and it's going to be top bins. Aiko, huge goal.
Yeah, and that can be a tough ball to read sometimes. It bounces straight up and going right towards the net, and Aiko right there to follow and put it in, and good ability to stick with that ball to keep the pressure on, and the Sirens, a really good answer there after a rotational mistake earlier.
Yeah, really great answer indeed, as they had put on an absolute clinic in the offensive zone throughout the series, but it hasn't been consistent. So we'll see if they can get the consistency down as, almost a beautiful shot coming out. Aiko gonna have to recover that one. Aiko was on Ignite in Season 8, very familiar with her capabilities, and unfortunately they lost in the play-ins, didn't make it to the playoffs, so this is Aiko's revenge tour. Now, will the revenge tour be completed? It's up to her to decide against this Wolfpack team, defending champions, and they have every right to win this series as they've looked incredible in their own right. I feel like Val Ace has definitely been so consistent with his shooting, but his teammates have set him up so well. Hibiscus playing that nice third man as well. We're going to see that as well. I mean, she's been excellent there. I mean, you see the defense and so many great players on the pitch. I can go on and on about how great they are, but as a team, who do you think has the leg up as we enter the 2-minute mark?
Oh, it might be Wolfpack there as that shot's going to go. I think Sirens are definitely the favorite, in this series, and I think they have the mechanical advantage. I think skill-wise, all 3 of their players, if you combine all the skills between these players, I think Sirens would have the most skill. But, that one is going to bounce in the back of the net. But Wolfpack, they have the rotations for the most part here. But this one, a huge bump is going to come through, and Hibiscus, as the third man, can't quite get to that one in the back of the net there. And LeBerry, a bounce shot, always deadly.
The bounce shot is one of my favorite shots. I mean, I think it is so underrated, and usually it's not performed intentionally, but it can once performed intentionally, it can be dangerous as a ball off the backboard. They can't quite find it. How is this one not in the back of the net? It's still not going to go. Oh my goodness, multiple opportunities to put it in the back of the net. Unfortunately, for the Wolfpack, they're still down by 1. And Hibiscus, though, gets a nice ball over to the midfield. Hibiscus having 1 shot and a save, looking to improve the shooting here. Is another shot coming out from Exiled over to Valles. Valles off the wall. This is not the man you want off the wall. He's going to fake it out for Hibiscus, who sends it off the backboard over to Valles with the shot. Oh no! Saves his own shot with the counter shot. Oh, what is happening? How is this one not traveled to the back of the net? And Rockerman, how do the Sirens still have a lead?
Oh my gosh, just calamity right there. You thought for sure it was going in the back of that. It was saved by a teammate flying through accidentally, and then the Sirens Fly Penguin, just an amazing save. That ball was millimeters from going across the goal line there in Gallium, and you know, Sirens, they are counting their lucky stars here as they hold on to this lead, 1:20 remaining.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this, as Wolfpack still down, and they look like they have so much pressure. Fly Penguin almost with a shot. Aiko missing a shot as well. This could be an opportunity. LeBerry on the back foot. The shot coming his way. He's gonna save it out, but barely. It's falling off the ceiling. Hibiscus. This is her shot, and oh no, it's another counterattack over to Aiko. Sends a shot over. Exiled with the save. How are these balls not going to the back of the net? What is happening right now? Exiled over to LeBerry. LeBerry up with the ball. Gets one. Can he get a second? Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? What is happening, Rockerman?
It's Crossbar Hero, and it's a counter attack as it's going to go in. And oh my gosh, the Crossbar, the massive defender for both teams. And Ace says, you know what? The Crossbar can't hurt me when I hit this dead center.
I'm going to lose my mind, Rockerman. This is hurting my heart. There's been so many post saves from both sides that, I mean, it's just been ridiculous. Where the posts paid money as the... Oh, wait, no way. Another great opportunity here. Not able to find it. As Ace off the backboard, can't find the defensive touch. Now Hibiscus trying to get one herself. LeBerry gonna send it down the pitch. Exiled with a beautiful touch over to Aiko. Aiko gets another one off the ceiling. Fly Penguin controls it on his car. Gets another one. Oh my goodness. LeBerry now with the shot off the ceiling. It's water falling down. Oh! Fly Penguin, the GM. And in the most clutch moments, he appears.
Yeah, this one just gonna 50 right down, and Wolfpack just trying to get up to this one, but Aiko into Penguin, into the net, and that is another big clutch goal. These guys, these teams have had some huge clutch goals, and with 6 seconds left, they need one more for the Wolfpack.
As Wolfpack have a nice kickoff here, though. Accidental backflip is detrimental as the ball is going to travel towards the floor, but wait a second, it's still up. 1 second left. Ball is still up. It's popped up once more, actually, sent the other way. Exiled has an opportunity. Going to send it to the sidewall. It's going to roll up. Wait a second now. Sirens going to clear it out for the most part. Exiled going to try to send it across, but it is going to hit the dirt, and Sirens up 2-1 in this series, but Wolfpack, they're on the doorstep. I really don't know who's going to take this series.
Yeah, I mean, Wolfpack, this surprise, eighth seed heading into the play-in tournament, coming into the playoffs as the 6th seed. I mean, they are really surprising everyone here. And I think, again, these players on the Wolfpack, they stepped up, but the Sirens, they did what they needed to do in that game, just enough to hold on at the very end there in Gallium. And you know what? Maybe the posts are some paid actors. They know about the script, so, they had to lock in a little bit there with their big Game 3 performance. But the Sirens, they were able to overcome that and get that last goal in there with a couple seconds remaining on the clock. And I mean, Gallium, with the way this series is going, I mean, we could be lined up for a good one here, but the Wolfpack, they got to answer back here heading into game number 4.
Yeah, they have to answer back, and I really think that comes with just keeping up your shots. I mean, we saw a lot more shots from Wolfpack, a lot more opportunities, but the defense from both teams, I feel like it was triple commits on the offensive side or double commits, and that left their net wide open, and we've seen both teams capitalize off of that. So they can clean up a little bit of their mistakes, whether it be 1 or 2 mistakes, it doesn't matter. Any of them, they will have a much better chance in the series, Ruckerman.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And that's the big thing. When you get to these lower leagues, it's all about the mistakes here. We don't want to harp on the mistakes too much, but it's who can minimize those mistakes here. And you put your team in the best position to win. And whoever does that in this game number 4, it could be a 3-1 lead for the Sirens, or we could be heading 2-2 in a guaranteed game 6.
Who knows at this point, as both teams have played out of their minds so far, as we see a beautiful shot coming in. LeBerry not able to finish that one. He's going to send it across. Fly Penguin can't find that one. Instead, it is actually going to be Fly Penguin. Going to send it across. Hibiscus over to Aiko. Off the ceiling it goes. Aiko getting another touch. LeBerry can't quite get to that one. A nice 50, though. Fly Penguin has an opportunity. He unfortunately can't find the aerial. And now it's going to go the other way. Wait a second. The ball being sent over to Valles, and he has some boost and some room to work with. He's going to get one touch. Get Fly Penguin out of the way. And oh my goodness! Exiled. Are you kidding me?
And that is just so beautiful. Ace and Exile finding each other right here. Ace over the top of one, and Exile, the sniper, the shooter, the goal scorer for this Wolfpack team. They've put another one in the back of the net. No bigger than that one right there, trying to tie this series up.
Jeez, that was an insane shot and a really great pass from Valles. The late touch over Fly Penguin, and both defenders couldn't make the touch there, but a nice demo from Aiko. LeBerry can't find the shot, but wait, it's a counterattack. Unfortunately, the ball was not put on target. It's still up, though. Aiko going to have to make a great defensive play. That's what she's going to do. LeBerry gets it up high. Off the backboard it goes. Fly Penguin over to Hibiscus. Hibiscus gets one touch. Gonna try to get a second. He can't quite find the ball. Now it's in the midfield. Aiko getting one. No way! Oh my goodness, I would have lost my mind if Aiko hit that. And the reason I thought Aiko was gonna hit that is because she's been hitting those all season long. We'll see if she can't do it for her team now. LeBerry, though, in the other end, gonna get a nice pop-up and his counterattack opportunity. Demo not gonna come out, and still, with more than 3 minutes left in this game, it feels like it's gonna be a dogfight to the very end.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like a dogfight. You see the demo attempts coming through, a couple of missed balls here and there, but in both these teams, they understand the importance of this playoff match. They understand the importance of this game right here. Is Ace gonna make the touch, and it's the difference between going on match point and going up 3-1. Is LeBerry gonna come through and make Wolfpack pay for that triple commit?
What a beautiful shot from LeBerry. As triple commit, little iffy there, but Fly Penguin makes it work, sends it over, and LeBerry is going to finish that every day of the week. And tie game now. Game 4. I feel like both of these teams have ample opportunities to win this game. We'll see which team makes the most of it. Cannot let the Sirens win this game, or else they have a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. And if they do, a timeout is available for both teams. We'll see if they take it. Here is LeBerry in the defensive zone. Going to send it over to Aiko. Aiko has one, tries to get a second. Aiko is going to get a second, possibly a third. A pinch off the sidewall. Can't quite follow it up just yet, as Wolfpack, a nice pinch clear. Fly Penguin up with it. No way he doubles this. Oh, he almost had a double there. Val gonna send it across. Now it's gonna be over to Aiko with the help of his teammate LeBerry. Hibiscus off the sidewall. It's gonna be Fly Penguin who gets faked out. Val over to LeBerry. LeBerry gonna get a nice touch. Hibiscus with a beautiful defensive play as always. Hibiscus and the star on the defensive side, and trying to get a clear now for the Wolfpack as Val gonna get dunked out just then, as Sirens seem to have a lot of control right now. Can they score a goal off of it? Aiko up, makes two of them miss. Fly Penguin, he just needs to tap this one in. He can't do it. Exiled. What is happening right now? LeBerry just cleared it for his own team, but wait a second, this could be the strategy. LeBerry has only one to beat, and he beats him, but the Wolfpack, they're just struggling on the defensive side. They're panicking, and what is happening right now? But wait a second, the Sirens, they have one more counterattack to go. The Wolfpack again triple committing on their side, but wait,
does it work?
No way. Oh, Aiko gonna get a clear out, but Hibiscus gonna send it back to his teammate and Exiled. Gonna take that one, and Rockerman with a little over a minute left. Both of these teams, it's looking like Sirens might have the leg up here.
Yeah, they might here, as Wolfpack, they've triple committed a couple times, and it's been dangerous, as now the Sirens, they're hunting right here off the backboard. Could be dangerous, but Wolfpack going to hold on. But yeah, Wolfpack been forced to triple commit in a couple situations, and one of them it almost worked out. But you can't expect it to work out for long as this one back towards the net, but exiled a huge read. And, Gallium with the time ticket away, I feel like a Wolfpack counterattack could be imminent here if they can keep it up here.
Oh man, this could be a great counterattack situation as both teams just battling it out here, trying to get this game for victory. It's a clear out, almost being set to the back of the net. Val instead gonna get a nice touch. Exiled. Over to Fly Penguin. Fly Penguin over to LeBerry. And now it's gonna be Val with a nice pop-up high. Exiled. Gonna not be quick enough to turn on that one. Officer's teammate to take it. Aiko now with room. Aiko tries to send it back to LeBerry. Too far though. Fly Penguin has some time. He has some boost, but can he make contact with the ball? He does, but Val gonna let it drop. And Rockerman, we have overtime here.
Yeah, we got overtime, and the Sirens, they have been putting on this pressure here, and this one could be another one floating towards the net off the backboard. At another follow-up shot, but it's not going to go, and there's not really a good follow there. But, I mean, it's just a shooting clinic here from the Sirens. They're going to put all the pressure on as they have, what is this, Gallium? 11 shots, make it 12. It's not going to find the back of the net. Wolfpack only have 2, and it's a battle between the pressure and the counterattack. Whose play style is going to work out and win this game number 4?
Whose play style will work? As, I mean, both these teams, their play styles so different, but yet they clash so well with each other as Valle's going to send it across. Fly Penguin getting in a nice pop. Over to Aiko. Aiko not going to find the touch there. LeBerry gets one pop down the field. Going to fake out a second. Try to go for the 50 there. Not going to work out though. Valle's off the sidewall. Fly Penguin's going to beat him there. Hibiscus. A nice little touch off the sidewall, but it's going to be over to Aiko. Aiko tries to pinch it out. It's not going to go. Exiled. A beautiful touch into the midfield and beats a defender. Fly Penguin on his way back. What a dunk for Valleys. LeBron James with the yam.
Oh my goodness, look at this dunk here. Valleys with the soul read on Fly Penguin's head to win the game.
On his head as Wolfpack gonna take this game number 4, tied 2-2. And wow, what a series we have, Rockerman. Provisional League has provided more content than all the leagues combined, it seems.
Gallium, that's what you gotta love about Nemesis. You never know. You can have, the lowest skill players in Nemesis, provisional in this case, but they can put on a show. It all depends on the night here. And so far, like you said, the playoffs have provided us, unrivaled competition here. And these two teams are putting on a show right here. And that one, Wolfpack, the counterattack play style, it worked for them in this game. They tie it up. Gallium, I always love when we get to a 2-2 series because that just means guaranteed Forbidden Temple here. And for Game 5, what that means is someone is going to be one win away from moving on.
Man, I know what I expected, and this was not it. And both of these teams giving us a Forbidden Temple Game 6. I'm so excited for that one, but Game 7, Champions Field, it's not out of reach, I feel like, for both of these teams.
Yeah.
This has been some great Rocket League so far. Close games throughout this series. There has not been a single blowout, and I expect to see that trend as we continue down, Rockerman.
Yeah, it's got to continue. It just seems like that's the way these two teams are playing. And, for the Sirens here, you got to be able to... Oh, no, an opportunity for Valleys. Could have had the open net. Here comes a shot attempt. It's going to be saved away. And now it might be Sirens on the counterattack here, looking for something. LeBerry off the back with a huge demo, but they're going to save it away. And we had a switch of play styles there for a second, Gallium. I was going to say Sirens got to keep up their pressure, but they turned into the Wolfpack play style, almost had that counterattack.
Yeah, they almost did theirs. Wait a second. Bump coming out. Valleys in a 1v1 situation. Tries to give it back to a teammate. Successfully does. Exiled. Sorry, gonna get a nice touch, actually. A beautiful flip out and a bump on Aiko, giving her a taste of her own medicine there. Aiko sending it down the pitch. Exiled gonna be there to recover it. Gonna pop it high. LeBerry can't find the touch. Fly Penguin gonna commit. Third man commit. A little risky, but hey, it worked out for him. As Hibiscus sends it down. Another third man commit going out from Sirens. A little worrying for their defense, and so far it's worked for them as Wolfpack have been unable to find any sort of counterattack so far, Rockerman.
Yeah, that's the one thing that, the Sirens do have. They have the speed, they have the pressure here, and they're going to try to live to that speed. But the Wolfpack, they have been able to counter. As here's an opportunity, wafted towards the net, but Fly Penguin back in time. And, you mentioned the third command commits here. The Sirens, they know they want to keep the pressure, and I'm sure, Gallium, they're going to keep doing it here because that's their play style. But we're just going to have to see if it's going to work out, if they can get the shooting accuracy up from last game. And this one floating,
wow.
LeBerry puts it home.
LeBerry just doing it all himself, and that read, it would have been very close to being in the net. I'm not sure if it would have, but it would have been very close, as he's just going to put it in himself, doing all the work so far for this Sirens team on the offensive side. We'll see if we can have some more provisional action, as this one is still in its later stages. As Raiko now down the field, gonna get one for the Sirens, and they're now up 2-0.
Yeah, and this one just going to be cleared out at a demo, opens up some space in the backfield, and Aiko just going to send it on the open net, a huge demo right there to open up space, and that's what can happen here with the Sirens. Like I mentioned before, if you find those demos, on this Wolfpack squad, they're so valuable in these lower leagues, and they might get a third right here, but two people missed, but Aiko going to finish the third one through there, and the Sirens now kind of putting on some pressure here, 3-0 lead.
What an absolute missile from Aiko, and her teammates clearing it out there. But Barry with a nice pass, and faking it out was Fly Penguin for Aiko to just have an easy strike, and 3-0 game now for this Sirens team. We'll see if Wolfpack can come back into this one, because they're going to need to. It's a nice touch and almost a great free flip out there. Even though Hibiscus is the sub, she's been playing amazing so far, but wait a second, Fly Penguin gonna shut me up right now.
Yeah, and the Sirens are just kind of putting on a clinic here, just, again, outspeeding the Wolfpack here, and that's what they were trying to do in the last game. It didn't quite work, but this time, the pressure and the speed too much, and that's, what you can do, really, Gallium, and like I mentioned, that's their play style. Their style is to go as fast as possible, try to outspeed, the Wolfpack here, and, it may not have worked before, but it's working now, and they find themselves in a almost 4-1 there for a second, and a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's been looking really good for the Sirens. Everything's clicking so far, and they're just counterattacks haven't been there for the Wolfpack. Their most worrying sign, their defense is, oh my goodness, how did that not go in the back of the net? It has been really detrimental. It's not even necessarily stopping the ball on the defensive side. It's been clearing it out and getting those counterattacks, because Sirens are sending all three of their players towards the net, and there's no counterattacks, but wait a second, Exiled gonna get a nice shot to the other net.
Yeah, and there it is. That you mentioned that it's the counterattack playstyle. You get it by that last defender and just kind of hook this one towards the net there. And actually, that's just a good play. Maybe not an overcommit from the Sirens, but that's just a good play, a good solo play by Exiled. And that's what we expect. That's what we've seen from them in this series. That's what they need if they're going to win. They need Exiled to pop off. And, maybe there's a lot of time left in this game. 2 minutes is a lot in Rocket League, but the Wolfpack got to lock in and try to get another one quickly.
We'll see if they can, as off the backboard it goes, and Aiko gonna finish that every day of the week, and Aiko having herself a game.
Yeah, the hat trick coming through here, Penguin. You see a high pop off the backboard, and Penguin was hunting for that bump. If Ace jumped, they were getting wiped out anyways, so you can't blame them for staying on the ground. But a nice play, a nice finish from Aiko, putting that one in the back of the net, and Sirens trying to lock down this game number 5, put themselves one win away from advancing to the semifinals and a date with the Gambits.
We'll see if they can do that. So Barry sends it across. Valets gonna miss their touch. Exiled. Send it off the sidewall. It's gonna be over to LeBerry. LeBerry misses his touch. It's gonna be in the corner. Oh no! Can't quite find it there. Off the backboard it goes. A pinch out from Fly Penguin. Valets gonna send it right back down. LeBerry sends it off the backboard. LeBerry trying to get one more touch. Can't quite find it. Instead, it's gonna be Fly Penguin. An attempted pass. Now the overcommit. But wait a second. Fly Penguin getting a nice touch in the midfield. If he didn't get that touch, it would have been detrimental. They're still up 5-1, so sending all their resources isn't a completely bad idea. As the demo is really coming out from Sirens so far. As we see Val Ace off the sidewall, tries to get one more, pops it high. Will there be a teammate up for it? Yes, there will. The finish not coming through just yet. As Val can't quite find that one. Fly Penguin off the sidewall is Val Ace sending it over to LeBerry. LeBerry trying to get one more, but it's not really going to go, and it looks like the Sirens have taken this Game 5, barring some miracle, which I don't believe is too possible. The Sirens have won this Game 5, and with this win, are one win away from taking control of their destiny and going up against this Gambit's team, who have been the best team all season. So regardless if they win this series, it is not going to look good for them. As wait a second, LeBerry, and we might be taking a little trip down to Brazil, Rockerman.
Yeah, and this one, the demos now, the Sirens are just hunting these demos here. A double demo comes through to open up some space for LeBerry, and yeah, the Wolfpack got to be careful. This is what I mentioned earlier, that, you know, the Sirens, they just need to get some demos in here, throw off these rotations from Wolfpack, because it doesn't seem quite like they can hang. But again, yeah, this game all but shocked here, and oh, there we go, Gilliam. Pack your bags. We're headed to Brazil.
Is that Aiko or is that Neymar? I can't really tell the difference. This Aiko up with it. Gonna put it in the back of the net. The bounce shot, Rockerman, I'm telling you. Powerful move there to go for the bounce shot, and we'll see if the Brazil will hold. If I'm the Wolfpack, I'm trying to score as quickly as possible. You do not want to be Braziled here, as it's going to be sent over towards the Sirens net. A missed touch now going out. Aiko has to recover. Wolfpack trying to score here. A pass out, not going to connect with the Kaziled, and Aiko sending it down the pitch. It is going to complete the Brazil for the Sirens, and they go up 3-2 in the series.
Yeah, and if I'm the Wolfpack right here, yeah, they're doing it. They already know. I'm calling the timeout 100%, and they do call the timeout here, which is exactly what they needed to do if you are Wolfpack. And I mean, you know, Gallium, it's the worst time to have a blowout game right here in Game 5. But you know, the thing with blowout games, Gallium, is sometimes they can be such a blowout that you can just chalk it up and just completely forget about it. That's what I try to do whenever there's a blowout game where we just lose a game. Like, I just pretend that game never even happened. You know, I just say, hey, you know what? That game didn't happen. We just got to go next. And that's the mentality you need here as we head on into Forbidden Temple, into Game 6. You know, with your season on the line, you got to play one game at a time. This is your focus, and you gotta keep it going here.
Yeah, you've really got to keep it going, and I think really for the Wolfpack here, exactly as you said, they can just chalk it up as to just an unfortunate occurrence, and they can just GG go next after this. So we'll see if they can't do it here. And Wolfpack now going into this Forbidden Temple match, it is wacky, weird occurrences going out here. We'll see if they can't recover here, and I feel like they're going to definitely need to, if they're going to beat this Sirens team that looks so excellent coming into this match. I feel like they've just overpowered them with their offense, and Wolfpack, they just haven't had a response. I feel like their defense, they've been panicking in their own zone, and that is something you don't want to do if you are on the Wolfpack, is panic. That is the worst thing. And Rocket League is 80% a mental game, so if they can get their mentals right, I think this might be a good series down the stretch, Rockerman.
It very well could be here, but they got to lock in, like you mentioned here, in this game number 6 on Forbidden Temple. We've seen some crazy things. We've seen some crazy things tonight here with all the upsets going down here with these 6 seeds moving on. And Wolfpack, they're trying to be the 6th seed. You know, they were an 8th seed in the play-in tournament. You know, the very bottom of Provisional League in this past season, or during this regular season. But all that matters, Gilliam, is this game right here, right now. How are you going to perform if you're Wolfpack? And they got to break through this play style of the Sirens. They got to play to the counterattacks. That is their strength. Lock down on defense, counterattack on the Sirens, and they could send us to a Game 7.
There's definitely potential for them to do so, but we'll see if the potential is there. It's a nice pop-up. Valais going to send it across over to Hibiscus, who's not going to quite make contact just then. And barring the events we go to a Game 7, this will be one of the few Game 7s we've had in the playoffs. I believe we've only had 2 others, if I'm not mistaken. So one of first there, as Valais is going to send it down. Fly Penguin going to get a nice touch off the back wall. Aiko sending it off the side wall. Exiled trying to find another touch, but going to be exiled.
Oh, shot?
Almost with a shot. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful attempt from him. LeBerry off the sidewall. Gonna find Fly Penguin, who's gonna take a shot. Exiled over to Aiko. Beautiful dunk out there. Valais gonna try to follow it. LeBerry with the ball on top of his car. And wait a second, the defense. Where did they go? Valais has an open way to the net.
And the other thing I say, Galleon, when you come back from a blowout here, and when you're on your season point right here, you got to come through with the first goal. And that one, absolutely massive for the Wolfpack. Show them that you are here to play. Show the Sirens that, hey, you may have taken it to his last game, but game 6 is a different beast. It's a whole different animal here, and we are here to play and send us to a game 7.
Yeah, I think that is the main goal, just taking it one game at a time and one goal at a time, as Val might have an opportunity here. Can't find the back of the net. Would have been an insane read. Instead, LeBerry has control of the ball, tries to get it past one, and now he's going to be dunked out for it. Valles goes up with LeBerry. LeBerry going to beat him out there. Hibiscus up with one touch. Tries to find a second, can't quite find it. Wait a second, Fly Penguin, he's going to have to quickly turn on this one. And he does. A beautiful pass out, but nobody there to receive it for the Sirens. Wow. Taking his time here. LeBerry going to be there to challenge him. Ball out. Aiko can't find the touch. Fly Penguin back to defend there. And with a little over 3 minutes left for both of these sides, I mean, I'm wondering, Rockerman, do you see Sirens coming back on this one?
They definitely can. They have the offensive pressure. And this one a shot, but a beautiful save. Good backboard defense there to get up there from the Wolfpack. But the Sirens, they definitely can come back. But it's, you know, Gallium, the reason that first goal was so big is because you force the Sirens to try to commit even harder here and maybe force an overcommit here, which could lead to your second goal. So really, you know, forcing the Sirens to play super aggressive is actually in the Wolfpack's favor here in this one. And, you know, the Sirens, you got to play smart. You got to play aggressive, but you got to play smart here. Do not overcommit and keep your pressure going.
As we see a lot of committing going on, but a lot of also staying back, as we see Aiko staying back there. Now it leads to an instant shot. Can't quite find the second. LeBerry with a follow-up. Can't quite find the back of the net, but wait, Fly Penguin, he's lurking in the shadows. LeBerry can actually shoot for him off the backboard. Oh no, Aiko might be soon to follow. Oh no, a mistouch, but Fly Penguin steals it. That was such an unfortunate play, and now 2 players up for Sirens. This could be a counterattack for the Wolfpack if they play this smartly. Valle's going to miss his touch. LeBerry now with that shot. It's not going to go in the back of the net. Instead, Exiled sends it over. Hibiscus going to wait out Aiko, and Fly Penguin top left.
Yeah, that one just massive for Fly Penguin, making up for the earlier mistake there. And this is just an absolute snipe over the defender. Top left, good luck.
Fly Penguin really made that ball soar through the skies. Is kind of ironic because penguins cannot fly. So, sorry, Fly Penguin. We love you around here. As Aiko going to take one touch off to the backboard, over to Fly Penguin. He's going to send it to the side. Exiled trying to send it downfield. Valles can't quite find it before LeBerry gets to it. Bumping out Hibiscus. And a nice pass out. Aiko going to take one touch. Trying to find a second is Aiko, and continuing the trend, trying to send it down the pitch. Beautiful shot from Aiko, but even better defense from the Wolfpack as the fake out. Aiko gonna 50 him out, and it feels like the Sirens have just been in the Wolfpack zone this entire time, just keeping on pressure, and that's exactly their game plan. And will this game plan be to their advantage, Rockaway? I want to know your thoughts.
I mean, so far it is. The Wolfpack have only had one shot, but that's all they needed to tie this game up at the moment. But with a minute remaining, you got to find a way to get offense. And LeBerry with a big play, the pass-in play, and the Sirens take the lead.
A big lead for the Sirens there as a beautiful pass over. LeBerry going to take that shot every day of the week. And now the Sirens, they're up by 1. 1 minute remaining. Can Wolfpack find a goal here late in this game, number 6? 1 minute remaining for both of these sides. As a ball up by Hibiscus. LeBerry sends it down. Fly Penguin. Nice touch. Exile now to the sidewall. LeBerry gonna get dunked out. Valles trying to find one more. Aiko. Nice defensive play now. Aiko gets one touch. Hibiscus with the pop-up. Hibiscus trying to find one more. Can't quite find the touch. Fly Penguin down the pitch. Can't really find the read. He didn't have a whole lot of boost, but wait a second. A 3v1 opportunity. LeBerry going to send it to the sidewall, but there's going to be a shooter. Aiko over to Exiled. Another great save by Aiko. Just quicker on the defensive side. Valles with a nice 50. Aiko sending it down the pitch. Exiled pops it high. Fly Penguin going to send it to the sidewall. Valles can't quite find the touch. And 5 seconds remaining. Wolfpack need a goal here. Is there a miracle in them? 1 second left, and Aiko gonna send this one to the ground. The Sirens are going to advance and play the Gambits. What a series.
Yeah, that was a crazy series there. Gallium is, I mean, the Wolfpack, they really gave it to the Sirens there, but the Sirens, the offense just a little bit too strong at the very end there. And, they did what they had to do. Yeah, at the end of the day, they got their offense just enough. But, the Wolfpack, honestly, Gallium, they really surprised me in this one with their ability to hang in, even with the sub here, going dropping down to the fourth man on the roster. Or for the woman in this case on the roster there. And they did an honorable job, but the Sirens just a little bit too much tonight, and they'll be moving on now, which confirms our semifinal matchups actually now. So that gives Sirens versus Gambits, and that'll be Dissonant versus Uprising. So some spicy things still hanging around in the Provisional League.
Yeah, and if we take a look at the Plan/playoff bracket, it's not updated to the current standings, obviously, but it just give you guys a little bit of a visual there. Dissonance now playing, as Ruckerman mentioned, Uprising team who has some of the best defense I've seen in Provisional League. I mean, just incredible what they can do. So we'll see if Dissonance can't break through their defense. But as for the Sirens, they're going to play the Gambits in a semifinals matchup that is very good. Gambits have played the Sirens twice in this season and have reverse swept them twice in this season. So a very interesting stat there, but winner of the Gambits and Sirens match is going to win the grand finals. You can count me on that.
Well, we'll have to see about that. I might have some other things to say about my Uprising boys over there in Dissonance, some solid teams on the other side of the bracket. But yeah, no, that's definitely going to be a heated matchup there between those two teams. That was one, if you're a Provisional fan or if you're a Rocket League fan in general, you do not want to miss that one. You surely want to stick around for that one. And everyone's going to want to stick around because we've got one more match coming up, right?
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute banger. My Bishops. I love you guys. Take it on Snowstorm. Boo. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Dan over there rooting his team on as well. It's going to be an excellent matchup. Please do not miss this one. Probably the best matchup of the night. I know we've seen some bangers tonight. I mean, starting off with a Game 7 is kind of some really crazy stuff to start off as. But, we'll see you guys later because we are about to send you guys off into probably one of the better matchups. Have a great rest of your day, guys, and we'll see you when we return. Peace out.